Hello, class. This is Linda, and some of you had a hard time with the questionnaire, and I'm also doing this video for those who will be doing this assignment in the future. I just wanted to go over and explain a few things, and hopefully you could gather information from this video to improve or to do a correct questionnaire for your client. Let's start with, why are we drafting a questionnaire? A questionnaire is part of the market research tool. You will be studying your customer because we know the customer is central to all of the marketing mix. The 4 Ps happen around the customer. So we really need to understand the 4 Ps in relation to the customer of your client. Now, remember, you're doing a marketing plan for a business, a small local business, local to wherever you are. And this marketing plan has to be based on information from the customer, that's primary research, and information from online or other databases, articles, that's secondary research. So writing a questionnaire is part of primary market research, and then you will go out and you will ask customers. Typically, when I do a market research study for clients, we have hundreds, if not thousands, of respondents. But for you and for purpose of this class, we're just going to do about 15 to 20 respondents. So that means you have to go out and survey 15 to 20 people. Okay, so let's look at the assignment first. Drafting the questionnaire. Here's the assignment. You're going to start with an introduction, and that's 5 points. All your questions need to be numbered, because when you do your analysis, you're going to refer to question number 2 or question number 3. So you really do need to have it numbered. You also have to ask questions covering all 4 Ps. Sometimes when I see students submit, they do a smart thing and they have sections to their questionnaire. Well, they'll have product questions and they underline it. Then they ask 3 or 4 product questions, and they say pricing questions, and they have 2 or 3 pricing questions, and so on. And this makes you think about all the 4 Ps and what questions you can ask for those Ps. Next is the demographic questions at the end. And really, you need more than 2 or 3. So you want to find out, what is the gender, what age, what kind of education, are they students or not? And this, again, asking demographic questions depends on what the product is or the service. So if you're doing a restaurant, you might ask what the ethnic background is, just because that might be important to their flavors or tastes in restaurants. If you're doing a bookstore, you might want to find out if they're retired or if they have grandchildren, because that might be important. So the demographic questions, really think about those and tailor them to your client's business. Now, the format and the wording has to be clear and organized, properly written, capitalization, so that if you were to hand this questionnaire to someone, physically hand it to someone, it should have all the instructions on it, such as circle all that apply or check one box. Has to have all of that information on the questionnaire. Now, here's the big thing, and I always have 1 or 2 people per class per semester who do this. If the client is not masked, masking means you cannot say the name of the client. You cannot say, in this restaurant, in our restaurant. You cannot say anything like that, because then you are doing a customer satisfaction survey, which is not what this is about. I mean, think about this. We are trying to get information in general about a product or service category finding out how much people are willing to spend, where they get their information, i.e. promotion, how they purchase online in the store, how far they'll travel. These are all really good questions for the 4 Ps. So if I'm in my client's store, that it doesn't make sense. You want to find new customers for them who are interested, or you might suggest to your client, I did a survey across town and people are all interested in having this product or service. Did you think of setting up another location across town? Or people are interested in pink pillows and we don't have any pink pillows in our inventory. Let's add pink pillows. So you're trying to gather information from the general population of target market of those people who might be interested in the product or service to help your client improve their business, right? So we don't want to do a customer satisfaction survey. That's not what this is about. That is another class, okay? This is about finding market research to help the client, your business of the marketing plan to improve their business. Okay. Now, with that said, let's look at a sample. And I'm looking at Leah's because Leah did a great job this semester. And she started with a nice introduction here. We want to understand dining preferences in your area. The survey is anonymous. For this, I would add, hello, my name is, and then put your name in there. Personalize it, make them see you as a person. Okay. Now, this starts with when dining out, what type of food do you usually prefer? Personally, I would ask question number 1. Do you dine out often? And if so, how much? And then have things for them to check. And some of you did it this way. Some of you will do it this way, where you say once a week, twice a week, every night, and then they can check a box. But this could be a good number too. When dining out, what type of food do you usually prefer? So you give them choices. She could have said, circle all that, apply. So I would circle pasta. I love pasta. I love seafood. I love steak. I love salads. I love pizza. I love all of these. Okay. And maybe there's other. I really like Greek food. I would add that to it. Okay. So here, this is a product service question. You're trying to find out what people are interested in purchasing. So think about this for your client. If your client runs a pizza shop and everybody says they want pasta, it's not hard to add pasta to the list on your menu. Maybe you could suggest to your client, hey, all the people in my survey, they love pizza, but they also love pasta. Have you thought of adding that to your menu options? This is what we do with the data. Okay, we're taking the data, we're making suggestions to the owner of the business. Okay, number 2. See, we have a problem here. The numbering is off. When you put it into Blackboard, the numbering will be off and you have to go in and physically fix it. Or you could save it as a Word document, as a PDF, and then attach it. So that is a problem with putting it into Blackboard, into the message box, just so you are aware. But the question itself, how important are weekly specials? Good question. Do you typically prefer classic dishes or unique? And that is something the owner probably wanted to know. How important are dessert options when choosing a restaurant? When ordering, now we get to the pricing question. When ordering a meal for yourself, so we're qualifying it right here, which is really a good thing Leah did. When you're ordering a meal for yourself, what price range are you most comfortable with? So here we're giving we'll get this data, we'll give it to the client, the business owner, and we'll say, this is what most people want to spend. Okay, that helps them when they're creating menus and menu prices. How likely are you to order add-ons? Okay, this is another important thing to the owner. How often do you typically dine in or carry out from local restaurants? So this is getting to be a usage behavioral question. we like this. And then we ask about format. So now we're getting into place. Do you dine in? Do you carry out? Do you want delivery? Again, all of this information is going to help the business owner. Okay. We want to get specific, but in the category. We don't want to mention the restaurant or anything else. When choosing a restaurant, how important is parking and convenience of location? Now, you think, duh, everybody's going to say very important, but sometimes it's not. If you live in the area, you don't park, you just walk there. So, anyway, where do you usually hear about new restaurants or specials? So again, this information is super, super helpful to the business owner because that is where they will put information. Okay. And then what type of promotions do you influence you most? Again, this is a promotion question. And then we get into the demographic questions. How old are you? Gender, ethnicity. I would not put this in. I would not ask household income. And I have this here specifically because so many people put this in, and most people do not want to answer this question. So I would not ask this. You can ask an education question or an occupation might give you something close to that. So she has the occupation question. And who do you usually dine with when eating out? I think this is great because do they want a family restaurant or do they want a coworker restaurant? So I thought this was a really good example. If you need help, further help, please let me know and I can help you. So I hope this video was useful. Thank you.